Hello Twitch, we are MMX and we're here for our Monday night hobby hangout, chill and talk about 40k for an hour or two. Just make that Monday night blues go away. I'm Matt and this is...
I'm James. Good evening, Twitch.
And Mark is absent this week again, he's on holiday in Corfu still, but he's back later this week. I think you've got a game of 40k against him and I've got no games. We need to get some models built, hopefully, which is what we're going to get on with tonight. Good news, starting out, we are well over our 50 Twitch followers through some streak of luck, and that means we've got a second Night Armiger in our competition. If you want to win our competition, you have to follow us on Twitter and retweet our pinned post, and you can win 1 or 2 Night Armigers, depending on how lucky you are. I've been talking about putting another knight in there as well, but I'm going to see how many followers we get and maybe put a full-size knight in. Or some terrain, or something like that. Maybe something interesting. Get some followers on the go. But yeah, in the meantime, let's have a hobby hangout. Tonight I will be working on these. Probably hold them up so that it's not in the light. Armiger Helverins.
Very nice.
Everyone's going to be seeing a lot of these.
I've got a pull-out tray on my desk, which has got 3 of these on it.
And what are they?
These are Artemia pattern hellhounds, and I'm struggling with which side of the screen I'm on. These are Artemia pattern hellhounds, so if I grab the correct top, got magnets and shit. These are flamery tanks that they're just big tracked fuel tanks, really. And they just go big boom when they explode, which is sort of the point of having them. They do some burning and stuff, and they're quite obnoxious to the hard to hit flyers, you know, the -3 to hit a LATOC flyers and stuff people like to bring. It's enjoyable to bring damage to 16-inch range flamers to fight back. But the main thing is when they go bang is very enjoyable. I had a little practice game with them on Saturday, and for triple smash captain, 2 of whom died to an exploding hellhound.
There we go.
Yeah, they blow up on. They blow up on 4+ and do D6 mortal wounds, so they're pretty tasty. Not bad for 90. Hi, chat.
Hello,
Hi,
Slaker. Welcome back. Hello, Deadful. That's Dave. Hello, Dave.
Dave.
Thanks for calling us fools. Very apt. Very appropriate.
Yep. The pissed fist himself.
Yeah. Dave, you are normally working hobby. You're always grinding out hobby, but tonight you appear to be selling things. Are you hobbying tonight, Dave, or you just sticking us on and muting us, and just having a watch?
He may actually have muted us based on that response.
Matt doesn't even play X-Wing, yeah. Dave referencing my X-Wing top there. I'm wearing my X-Wing top. I'm wearing my X-Wing top because this is a really, really cool top, as in it's really, really temperature chilled, and it's a really hot day, and this room is really warm. I can't wait for autumn or winter. Not least because it's my birthday, it's Christmas, and it's not 27 degrees in my house.
Yeah, I like summer. I'm enjoying the heat, and it's actually not that hot in my house today. I haven't even got the windows open today.
See, I have an issue where I have house cats. One of them used to go outside. One of them has never been outside. That's a discussion for another time. But one of them got out on Friday through the smallest window upstairs, and she's now trying to get out every possible window imaginable, or just through walls. I think sometimes.
Got a lot of cat.
Yeah. So the issue is, if I leave that window open, she's gonna get out of it, and I've only got one window with a cat mesh on to stop them getting out. So, is Shadespire a way to pull ladies? Well,
depends what kind of ladies you're trying to pull, Dave.
Yeah, if you're looking for ladies who are interested in Shadespire or board games, probably. Or if you find them that way. Is it the best way to pull ladies? Probably not. It is a form of social gaming, so it shows that you are a sociable person. I mean, some women like men with a hobby.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's the best time to pulling ratio. All things considered, but
I can't imagine it'd go well if you put it on your like Tinder profile.
Long walks, sunsets, Shadespire, 40k ITC games.
Yep.
Let me try it. Let me try it. Things can only get better, surely.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a bleak look into man's dating life. Yeah. On the obnoxious pet thing,
Yeah.
it's taken about 3 months, but the puppy has now eaten the entire sofa. Had to take the sofa to the tip and find a different one on Saturday. It took her a while, but she has finally consumed most of a sofa.
Yo, Chris Frozen. Nice to see you, Chris. Not at the gym tonight. Obviously, you just came to do some.
Came to paint some.
Is Chris
Tonight,
painting, or is Chris building combinations?
Guess Chris is painting race. It's a guess.
Could be. Gym was at 10 this morning. That is a good thing. I was going to go to the, and he's painting now. I was going to go to the gym at 5 o'clock. And like an absolute idiot, I left my trainers at home, which I found out at just after dinner when I went to get my stuff out of the car. So,
I was going to go to the gym at 5 o'clock, but then
you remembered you don't go to the gym.
I watched the football and had a nap instead. I feel my time was well spent.
I feel like that's time well spent. I'm going to be honest. It's a good time. What are you painting, Chris? Is it Wraiths? Was James right? Please let him not be right. No, get the highlight colour nailed down for them fading in on the Lord now. Ah, there we go.
Ooh. Very nice.
James has the voice of God again. That's useful content.
I probably do have the voice of God. He has Magora's Fiends to assemble to cycle over there.
Do you know who
they're
they
the
are?
ones? Yeah, they're the ones with the really cool flesh hand that I want.
Yep, they are. Ah, so you've got no glue, but they are push fit. Or as our local shop told someone the other day with a new Sigma set, yeah, you don't need glue to assemble it, it's all push fit, but glue helps.
That's reasonably accurate.
Yep.
I mean, they will go together push fit, but they might also fall apart.
Yeah.
So...
And the problem with some of these push fit kits nowadays is they're very clicky. Once they go together, you're probably not getting that apart.
Which sort of renders the glue pointless, I guess.
Yeah, I still think it helps make that seal around the join because of the melting. I think I'll get the box set for AOS, by the way. I think I want some of the Nighthawk conversions. Yeah, Chris, the Nighthawk are absolutely gorgeous. I have forced myself. I am not painting. I'm not painting. God, I don't paint anyway. I am not building. I'm not getting my AOS box set out. I've not even got the rule books out yet. I'm just been restrained. I've got to get these knights built. I've got to get my Vansar built. I've got to get these budget guard built. I've got so much stuff to do. Can't face the AOS yet. I've got my demons for AOS. I've got orcs for AOS. I just need to get rid of those models and not read the books till I've got time. Shadespire Oryx need glue from Kaifas Blackadder. Yeah, I think that's true. Buy Stormcast from Chris. Yeah, I like a lot of the new Stormcast models, but the people.
I view Stormcast with the same sort of disrespect that I view Space Marines.
Every time I try to do the final assembly, they're always going crooked, so I've abused these poor models. See, do you know what I find out with some of the push fits? Like, some bits are really easy and simple, and some are
obnoxious.
Yeah, you have to bend the plastic to get it in. It's obviously they've done it with a 3D cutting program, 3D design, but you have to say the shoulder pad, you'll have to bend it back and then it'll click over, and then the rest of the chest will slide in, and it's like, well, that's a bit. That's not a good design.
No, I remember the Chaos Chosen from I think the last starter set, the 7th edition starter set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the lightning claws had been 3D designed, so that the claw separate to the fists. So I remember snapping those things off, trying to bend them over.
Chris says, "Did you see the Necromunda Gene Stealer cult that he tweeted you?" Yeah.
Yes, I did.
There you go. Were they conversions or were they?
No, they're real.
Are they the new ones?
They're not necessarily Necromunda.
They're the new 40k ones.
So what they're being rumoured for at the moment, there's a set of half a dozen or so new aberrants, which would make sense for 40k because they currently don't have a box. You can only get the 2 single sculpts in the Overkill box set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of the ones.
And then you've got there's a really cool 3-armed gunslinger in like a Western style, or like Clint Eastwood poncho type setup with three revolvers. He looks absolutely badass, and they're reckoning that he's going to be a Necromunda leader. But I can't see Aberrants being a Necromunda crew because they're a bit big and hefty for that.
I don't think you'll get a full crew, but
yeah, that's sort of
there is stuff in the gang wars. Like there's ambots, which are like big robots, and there's like slave ogrins and stuff. So
yeah, it looks like what they've leaked. GW did quite a funny video about it where they pretended to have accidentally put them in the cabinet after someone leaked them like 3 hours before and the community told us about it. And it looks like they're going to be a full box set of aberrants, which it wouldn't make sense to sell as a Necromunda kit.
So Chris thinks that you haven't seen.
Oh right, have I sent something else new?
Tweeted you something else, yeah. Caiaphas Blackadder is painting 15 Grey Hunters. Pin washing looks good, but takes ages. Yeah, well, unfortunately, some things in life do take a lot of time to perfect, like my relationships. Or lack thereof. True fact, I've drawn blood trying to assemble the Bloodstoker. That guy is sharp. Do you know what? Is the Bloodstoker the guy with the whips? Is that or is that? Are you thinking of like? Is that the?
Oh right.
Is the Bloodstoker the guy with the whips from the old AOS starter set, or is Bloodstoker in the Shadespire set? I've not built any of the old starter set.
Because the Bloodstoker's the whip dude from the starter set.
Yeah, like I love those models. I got 2 sets of that starter set to make a Kings of War Varangor army, and I'm gonna have to sell them at some point. But they're just so nice. I think one of the MMX guys, Dan, was he's converted his Chaos Cultists out of those guys, Corn Cultists, and they're nice. They're huge, but they are nice. The guy with the whips, yeah, the whips is.
Okay, I'm now looking at the Necromunda gang, who are really cool.
Why don't you send me a picture of them, and I can put them up, and then everyone can see them.
It's just one conversion. It is just one conversion, I think, which I can see, unless Chris has got more that I can't find, which is possible. Let me see if I can save that.
The Reeves are good cultists, yeah, they are. They're so nice.
Yeah, this is this picture that we got is just flagrantly stolen from Twitter, by the way. Obviously, we should credit John French, who did this conversion.
John French, is he not one of the Black Library writers?
Considering he's blaming Andrew Hoare for pointing out that the Gene Stealer hybrid heads fit perfectly, I would suggest he probably is a GW.
He is. He has written Now Peels Midnight, Ahriman, Blood and Lies, Resurrection, Talan, a couple of Terran of Dawn. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, he wrote a lot of Heresy novels, a lot of not Iron Wars, bloody hell, Imperial Fists and Ahriman books by the look of it. So yeah, I'm not familiar with his work actually. I've not seen any of that, but fingers crossed, through the magic of cyberspace, we can now pull up said image.
Chris sent me to have a look at that I completely ignored.
So, John French. There you go, look at that. That's a nice model. I really love the Orlok kit. I think I've built 10 and got the other 10 waiting for the weapons kits, but they're so nice. I think if I wasn't using the Van Sarfa Guard, I'd be using these guys. Look at the little belt. It'd be nice if he'd cut off that. I'm assuming he's using them for Necromunda rather than a G.
Yeah, I guess.
As in, maybe he's using the match as an Orlok gang, just with
Yeah,
different heads,
they're
but
just
all the other
cool.
way around. It'd be nice if he'd cut the skull off the belt and put the cult symbol there. A lot of work, but it's hard. Yeah, that belt buckle. Yeah, it is like an Iron Warrior's belt buckle, isn't it? It's exactly the same skull. That's
Nice.
cool. I really like that.
That is very cool. I'm a big fan of that, Chris. Do send me things. I will occasionally actually notice that I've been sent things.
You're like me. I get a lot of messages, and I really do people well. I'm a bad friend. I often miss them.
It's I'm new to Twitter and Instagram, so I'm missing a lot of stuff on there. If you Facebook message me something, I'll pick it up immediately.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm the opposite. I won't pick anything up, but it's like I said, I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
This night's coming along well. Getting
It's
Helverins out. We're gonna have to airbrush them this weekend, maybe. Get some airbrush.
goes together really nicely, that kit.
I've built some Warglaives, and I've only built one Helverin, but got some extra ones, and then.
Yes.
These,
But
what else?
yes.
Well, speaking of Shadespire, we talked about Shadespire. They have new releases. The new releases this weekend are Shadespire. There are more boards with added effects. So it adds a bit more dynamic to the play. I think if you can push them into the parts of the board and things like that.
Nice.
Previously, they don't do anything. Are they up for pre-order now? Or are they not up for pre-order yet? Or are these things going on pre-order this weekend? There's a lot being previewed at the moment.
Pass me by. I've just about managed to have a look at AOS this week, but basically discovered I'm an awful human being regardless of what version we're playing.
Yeah, and hero leader cards, yeah, exactly. Chris, the other thing they're bringing out is... so previously they had cards in the base game, and then each expansion pack had cards, some which were relevant only to that faction, and some that were universal, so other factions could take them. What they're doing this week is bringing out extra cards that are aimed at the leaders of each faction.
Ah, right, okay.
So they'll have upgrades for the leaders, which is nice, because you can't chop and change the models in your thing. So anything that adds variety is good. Hopefully it's balanced variety and not thingy. I know our local guys are trying to get some Shadespire. There's meant to be one on Wednesday. There's some like Shadespire local events off the ground, so I'd like to see that. But
yeah. So Shadespire is one of those games that, for me, I would like to play. I think it looks like a lot of fun. At the same time, it's not 40k, and I just don't have time for anything that isn't 40k. Well, I don't mean that disrespectfully, as in it's not worth my time. I mean, every time I go to play a different game, I just end up playing 40k instead.
Yeah, that's an issue I have. I don't get enough time to do it. So let's have a look.
I play a lot. I spend a lot of time gaming. Less so recently. I've only played sort of once a week for the last couple of months. Burnt out a little bit after London, but I'm still just finding that every single time I play, it's 40k every time. Yeah, I would do. I would on the whole, I would break Shadespire thing. I was looking at Age of Sigmar earlier. Just had to read the rule book, had to read some stats. I've not looked at the General's Handbook yet, so I don't know what we're talking in terms of points, whether or not it's sufficient or not. But I was just looking at it. I've got a Thousand Suns army, which focuses heavily on Zangor.
Yeah.
And I've also got a very large demon army. Siege, Slanesh, and a touch of Khorne. And I was just looking at it going, wow, this feels really abusive. So I don't know the game system that well. I'm not sure how good it actually is, but it felt like I was going to ruin the game for somebody.
Chris says he's been AOSing a bit and he's been looking at Vermin Lord heavy armies. Doesn't know if he can do it, but it'd be cool. Psyker wants to draw Primarch. Here's a question. James, what Primarch should Psyker draw? And you can't pick Horus, Magnus, Angron, Altharius, Lorgar, or Lehman Russ.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Vulcan.
Vulcan. There you go, Psyker. Please draw Vulcan.
Yeah, quite like the Salamanders. Something to do with my obsession with burning.
You even knew what Legion he was from. That was... Someone's been swatting up. Mark would be proud. Might have to message him about that later. I'm sure that'll make the highlight of his holiday. James passing a fluff test. Vulcan, my lad. There we go. Psyker seems happy with that answer. Lots of talk of whether you would... Yeah, Dave's got a good point there. He says you would probably love Shadespire because it's all built around the competitive game. And it takes about an hour to play multiple versions. But they have said you would probably break it. I think that's probably true. I think that's probably true.
There is that. It's like, it's not intentional. I don't go out meaning to break these games. These games come to me. They say horrible things to me. And then I have to ruin them.
Ooh.
No, I think based on what I think we're going to see at Cali, I think I'm the soft end of the stick for this weekend. For that weekend even.
Yeah, it's a week on Saturday. We go down on the Friday. Took the afternoon off work today, as in for that day. So that's going to be good.
Yep. I too have the afternoon off. We're heading down. Head down, get some games in. I know my first round opponent because there's a grudge system in place. So I'll be playing a chap called Lee in round 1. And we actually we swapped lists today. Yes, it is, Dave.
When is list submission deadline? It's in the next few days, right?
Yes, it's 8 a.m. Thursday.
Okay, so I've got 2 days to work out what I'm taking, which I'm pretty sure I know what I'm taking, but...
Yeah.
Maybe a practice game would be good, because I've not played... I don't think I've played...
Since London?
Okay, since the London GT, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's helped you not...
No, I played Soft Lads. I played 3 games with Orcs, and I'm not taking Orcs to Cali, so...
That will be interesting.
Yeah.
Me and my first round opponent have traded lists, and I will be fighting all the Drakari guns in the world and some Alatok flyers, which is going to be exciting. Thanks, Lee. We'll have a good game. Lee's a chap that I've been at a lot of tournaments with. We've only actually played each other once, and when we played, it was on the top table, playing for the win of an event. And I think I beat him 10-8 in a super, super tight game. So, but we both had a ton of fun while doing it, so we've been trying to manufacture a rematch ever since. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be interesting. He was playing a Poxwalker Horde at the time. Dirty, dirty Poxwalker Horde.
It's a bit of a difference.
Yeah. Apparently this is going back to his first love.
Filthy elder spam.
Space elves. Dirty space elves.
Yeah, I may get very drunk at Kai, Dave. Yeah, I think I'm going to get very drunk at Cali.
I think mine will probably depend on how well I'm doing as to how much I'm drinking.
What are the different armies you're thinking about playing, Matt? Something with models that are painted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We were talking about this before we came on, and still not super sure what I'm taking.
Yeah, it depends how much you feel like painting, isn't it? I think you've got 2 choices. One of them you can put in a case and go, and the other one you're going to paint in a week and a half.
Yeah, which not doing that much painting at the moment, so probably not that one. Probably something old, something gold, or something green.
It's not going to be orcs, is it, Matt?
It's probably not going to be orcs though. Why does this chat have mods? Well,
Oh, did he get told off by Nightbot?
yep, Nightbot told Dave off because he said I was planning on playing all of the armies because I'm a whore.
Yes. Get in there, Nightbot.
Thanks, Nightbot. Got my back there. Yes, Dave, you may be painting your army in a week and a half, but I don't paint.
Yeah. That's like preoccupied by being, I don't know, busy or something.
Richard Branson.
Hmm.
Doing non-productive stuff is my speciality at the moment. Oh no, just gone further down. There we go.
I'm not getting a lot of painting at the moment. I think that's the most painting I've done. It's definitely the most painting I've done all weekend. It's like in the last half hour where I've dry brushed a tank, 3 tanks. But I'm struggling to get anything finished. I just keep starting models, getting a few layers down on them, and then just going, I'll paint something else now. There's going to be a really productive week on my Instagram at some point where everything like half-assed gets finished.
I need to get. I've not done any painting in a long time. I've not done any building in a long time. Like I've been building those guard just passively, but there's a lot of them to do, and I need to get these armigers built. If I can get these 2 armigers built tonight, that's a nice box out of my pile of my to-do pile. I'm discovering Space Wolves have way more bits on them than I thought. So many random runes and wolf tails. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Space Marine out of gadgets.
Yeah, definitely is. It's just crazy. Like so much. You'd think you could just dry brush them and stuff. Well, if you wanted to do them quickly and easily, you could do that. But it's all those extra details that you don't realise how long it's taking you to paint the pelts on 10 men until you've spent an hour and you've done it and highlighted it and need to wash.
Yep. I was just checking the football score there. Very interesting.
What is the score of the foosball? 3-2 to... Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So before we came on, it was 2-0 to Japan, and it finished 3-2 Belgium.
Is it finished now?
Amazing.
Yeah. There's a 94th minute winner. Jeez.
Wow. That's definitely...
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Back to square one. Stop spamming caps. There you go. Yeah. Nightbot is. We don't even need Deb in the chat to start a fight tonight. Nightbot is making.
Nightbot is laying down the law.
Yeah.
We should get him a Judge Red hat. Wow. I love Nightbot. He really amuses me.
Nightbot does a good job. It's the hero that none of us deserve. Yeah, exactly. You don't talk in caps and Nightbot will be your friend. Just has a really bad time against swearing, Mechanicum, and caps.
Yeah. Good old Nightbot. He's like my only contribution to this stream.
No comment.
Sorry from talking inane shit on it.
I think that's all it is at the moment. The Monday Night Chill.
Yeah.
We'll put together some other shows and try and get another battle report on the go soon. But it's a busy time of year at the moment. Sports Ball. Yes, you've done Sports Ball with no caps this time, Dave. You have obeyed the laws of Nightbot and...
You will not be punished.
Yep, exactly that.
It's how Nightbot giveth, Nightbot taketh away.
Yep, well, that got past the radar, Dave. Well done.
We're now going for light swearing.
Yeah. Certainly not a tradition of what he actually usually says in comment to these things, but...
Ew.
So, Deadfall, are you doing any hobbying tonight? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't answer when I said you were just selling stuff.
He may be, but we have a chat delay, so we don't know.
Yeah, it's alright.
Dave, Dave historically paints like whole armies in a week,
Yeah.
just for fun. Not even like when he's spamming them out. That's just his normal
Like,
progress.
Oh, I've had tea. I better do those 30 orc boys before I go to bed. In an hour.
Yeah, something deeply wrong with that man. I mean, I'm a very prolific painter, but
Very
gee,
prolific.
Dave is nuts. I've painted 250 models this year so far, which is fairly ridiculous. I mean, Dave's just nuts. Alright, what's my hero?
So, these Omegers, a lot of parts these Omegers.
Yeah.
Be much happier when I don't have to look at them on sprue. So,
Are you doing the classic clip everything off, then try and figure out where the hell it goes?
no, doing it as I go, which is probably more time consuming, but
Less insane.
yeah.
Yeah, so now.
I just want 3 of them.
Yeah, they're nasty. I've had a single one kill a flyer before. I was not amused. What made that worse was that I told my opponent the maths on that before he rolled.
That's why you never know the maths.
Yeah.
40k does not work to the way the maths work. It works to however you don't want it to work.
Yep.
That's why you build redundancy. That's why you never say you need anything but a 1.
True. So I remember reading back in old school White Dwarf, probably 15 years ago. I remember reading someone who in their battle report refused to write missile launchers. They always wrote rocket launchers because orc ones hit more than marine ones because they don't have miss in them.
That sounds like a very orky thing to do, to be fair.
Well, he was a marine player. He just...
It's an orky way of thinking, though. If you
I
think
like
it'll
it,
hit, it'll hit.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
What are you expecting at Cali, Matt? Are you planning at all for the meta, or are you just taking what you think will do alright? And
now, I should plan for the meta. That would make sense. Unfortunately, that would mean painting stuff.
yeah. The army that you're going to paint, if you paint one, is running right into the meta's trap, so
yeah, so it's probably
best that you don't.
Yeah, I just don't, at the moment, at this time of year, I don't have the time to paint, and I've been, I don't know, not been 40k in the vibe, not been vibing the 40k
Yeah.
much at the moment. Just the last few weeks has been a bit difficult. Like, I'm enjoying building these now, trying to get back into it, still loving the social side of it, just been really busy. I think it's just a summer malaise.
Yeah, I think when the sun comes out as well, not everyone wants to sit and paint and just lock themselves. When it's dark at 6 p.m, you get home from work and it's dark outside, you feel pretty alright about going and sitting next to a lamp and painting for
Netflix on, and painting for 3 hours. But when it's light outside, and now that my back is better, because my back is better, everyone, it's always good. I can actually go and attempt to do some exercise or attempt to sit in the sun and get a bit of a tan or something. Painting some of this side was the way to go. I can't paint outside. I find it really difficult to paint in the sun.
Yeah. No, I don't like it.
You are a very special man if you can do it, then fair play to you. But no, it's something I've always thought is good. I've always liked to try and do it, and every time I do it, I just get messed up.
Yeah, I think sunlight, your colours look different as well. So
yeah, that's why people use daylight bulbs, isn't it?
Yeah, but even then, you just get more glare when you sat out in the sunlight. Because I mean, I've got a daylight bulb on here, which is coming across incredibly yellow actually on this camera. I assure you, it is not.
I'm special, my mum told me. She probably did. Was that before or after she saw your space lizards?
I think this brush is just split.
Mostly burnt it. Yeah, base coat stuff well. I think the most productive painting session I've had this year was airbrushing in my kitchen with the doors open. I think like the temperature was just perfect for it, and everything just worked well. But cool. We nearly have legs. Feels like there's still got a full sprue of weapons on shoulder pads, so I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with this guy still.
Yeah. Well, I've just split the brush that I was using, so that's annoying as hell. I have to do a bit of brush care.
Bit of brush care? You got some brush soap?
Yeah. See if we can get this brush sorted again. I'm finding that the army painter brushes that I get, the small ones are really good, but the big ones, like the dry brushes and the monster paint brushes and stuff, just split instantly. I'm really struggling to get any use out of it. No, paint a tank, I don't really have time to do it with an infantry brush. See if that wants to play nicely for a bit.
This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, which is surprisingly stressful. I do have to finish my Valiant now. I've got a lot of top works on my Valiant built, but the issue I'm having is I want to do something special with the base, and there's two things that are going on now. One, I want to pose it, and I kind of want to put like a vehicle on its base. It's got a big base, and it's a nice way to do something with it. Now the second thing is Tara Model Maker, who has a shop on Etsy and does loads of night bits. I've used him in the past for like a banner for my other knights and some missile pods, because I didn't have the kit. I didn't have the upgrade sprue with the pods on. And he also did. He does like alternate close combat weapons. He did a really big Imperial shield, like the height of a knight, that it could hold on its arm. It was really nice. I think he's had to amend some things because of the designs of them, but yeah, they're really nice. I've seen from Facebook this week, he is doing like a joint bit. It goes in on the leg and extends the leg. Like it just puts it in a little bit, but it just makes them that little bit higher and bigger.
Right.
So I kind of don't want to build my Valiant and my Castellan until I get them.
Have you got them in order?
I will be doing when they go up, I think. I just think it'd be really nice to have that. It'd be really cool just to do something a bit different, make them a bit bigger to stand out to my normal knights. And
yeah, because I mean, when you actually see them on the table, the Valiant and the Castellan aren't that much more massive.
No. They're more bulky, but like even a little bit of extra height is gonna be really cool.
Make them a bit more obvious.
Yeah. And yeah, it'll make them a bit easier to hit, but I don't think those things are really hiding behind that much anyway. Unless someone specifically made a piece of terrain that's big enough to hide a knight. But
at the last Told You Two, we had 3 Bane Blades landed face down in the ground, and you could hide Magnus behind those, so I assume you could hide a knight behind them. But that is some pretty specific scenery.
Yeah.
It was only from certain angles as well. I mean, if you really want to shoot the knight, you're going to shoot the knight.
Yeah. They're going to move to shoot it. You're a bit limited. If you're, apart from like turn 1 or something, which that scenery, it's not going to be in your deployment zone anyway. It's just not a thing, is it?
It's not something you should worry about, certainly, when building the model.
Yeah. Really cool. Dwarfs all.
Yep.
It's gotta be that. So,
I think I've resurrected this brush. That's good.
Night Omega coming on well. If Star Wars Legion was a slightly smaller scale, I could literally just use my Legion army with get an ATST or two because they're really nice models. Cypher's Blackadder says, "What are your preferred brushes of choice?" I use whatever I pick up. A lot of the time I'm using the Army Painter ones because they're really good value for money. Element do some nice ones. Never spent the money. Well, so I have spent the money. Don't spend the money on Kalinsky ones anymore because the painting I'm doing doesn't need brushes of that quality. But yeah, to be fair, Army Painter and GW are what my local stocks, so it's what I pick up a lot of the time, just out of ease of convenience.
Same answer. Me and Matt both go to the same local store.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Army Painter, GW. They've also got a bunch of brushes in there that are just like generic white. I'm trying to find one now. Yeah, called Master Stroke Craft and Decorative brushes. And they're just, if I'm using a brush just for, like, you can see how much I've used that.
Yeah.
That's something
that
like
in the chat is pulling faces now.
I mean, that's a dirt cheap brush that I just use to slap base, like dry brush sand on bases or something. Yeah, obviously we're not putting that anywhere near a model, but but it's good enough for bases or something like that. But for the vast majority, I use Army Painter. I would like a Winsor & Newton set at some point, but it's just the money on paintbrushes.
I don't treat mine well enough. I've made a foolish choice and picked up generic brushes, but they have tiny points and are comparatively cheap, so I'm willing to give them a try. Yeah. Do you know what? Like, sometimes, I mean, the hobby's bigger now, and there's more people getting the nice brushes, but all branded brushes are. So it's getting better now because they're getting like things like Army Painter are coming out, and it's the same brushes but cheaper. But all the like the GW brushes and stuff have rebrand. Like, okay, they've had a long time development. They're just rebranded normal brushes.
Yeah, they're not, unless you're spending big money on like the Windsor Series 7 or WAMP, do some nice brushes, something like that. You're not really going to see a huge difference between sort of generic cheapo brushes and Army Painter, GW, all that sort of thing. Will be reasonably similar.
Dave says he's going to pick up some from Element. I've been using a brush by Ammo, the guys who do the metallic paints. I was really loving it for a cheap synthetic brush, yeah. But if you're using it on synthetic paints, you might not want to risk a normal brush. Element do have, I can't remember what their range is called, but well, two things. They do have their own brush range, which I have used in the past. I used to add them to my order. And they are nice if they've still got them. Let's have a look. Hobby brushes. Element Games, yeah. Kalinsky brush bundle, Kalinsky character brush, Regiment brush detail brush, and Element Masterclass. I think that's the ones. No, they're all Kalinsky now, but I'm sure they had some of their own before. But they're really nice. But there's a new set of brushes that were kickstarted recently. Can't remember what they were called, what company did them, but I think Artist Opus maybe.
Yeah, Artist Opus. That's
a lot of people were giving them big licks, and I'm sure part of that was involved with Element. I know the guy who owns Element, Byron's a really good painter. He does really nice airbrushing, does really nice painting. I know he's picked up loads of awards at Fantasy and Age of Sigmar events in the past. I think he plays that. And does a podcast. I think it's Facehammer. I think that's the podcast he's on. But yeah, he's really good. So, and the guys on the podcast with him are really good painters as well. Terry Pike and I think it's Les and Ross do it. But yeah, so with the people they had on board for the Kickstarter, they got some really big names who know what they're talking about when it comes to brushes.
Yeah,
so that'd be nice. Maybe we can get a set when they come out and get one of the more established stable of painters, Mark or Shane or someone to give them a go and give us some feedback on them. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool, in fact.
Do something interesting with that, yeah. Because I mean, you and me have already said like, I paint a lot, but I paint quickly, and I paint mostly tabletop. You paint sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally paint.
We're
that painting is a process.
We're both capable of painting, but we're not artists.
Yeah, I can paint to a tabletop standard. I can paint better than a tabletop standard if I'm actually putting some effort into it. But
Depends how you define tabletop, doesn't it? It's sort of whether like I paint models to look good from 3 feet away, whereas some people class tabletop standard as legal to put it on the tabletop.
Yeah. There's a difference there, isn't there?
Yeah. Like if you look at a lot of my models, I'll do stuff like not paint the eyes, but just put a wash in so the eyes look sunken. Because I play a lot of evil armies. Sunken dark eyes looks fine from a distance. Obviously, you're not going to win the awards for it, but it's all practice, Psycho. Or just practicing YouTube tutorials.
It's like he's probably better than us.
Yeah. Teach yourself anything with enough time in YouTube tutorials.
Yeah. Enough time, a lot of energy, and a little luck.
I don't think we ever got to the bottom of what people are working on tonight, except for Dave's doing Space Goals and Chris is painting a
Necron Lord?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's about what people were doing.
And Psycho's drawing me Vulcan, isn't he?
Psycho is drawing you Vulcan, yeah.
Looking forward to seeing this. Can't wait to.
And I've got the frame of a knight done.
Yeah, you have.
So that's cool. I'm not sure I'm going to get 2 built tonight. Definitely going to get 1 built, and to be fair, if I get 1 built, I might start building some little guardsmen rather than get a half built, because I've got some stuff to do once we finish stream tonight.
I am being boring as hell, and I'm now painting tracks on tanks, which is really, really fucking thrilling.
Painting individual tracks or just painting the tracks?
Oh no, the tracks. I'm not a lunatic.
Always worth checking. Always worth checking.
Yes, like we would like to see the sketch.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. If you're
set
wanting to draw something, you probably draw better than we paint.
Yep.
If you tweet us it, we can look at it, but I can show it on the stream if you want. I don't have to. I can always not do that if you just want to show us it. It's cool. I'll say we'll give you some criticism, but it's probably good.
I mean,
I can draw or offer any criticism.
You know, I can draw like stick people.
I can draw like doodles on a work pad when I'm on the phone.
But I can't even do that. I can't concentrate.
Someone at work took a message down for me the other day, and the guy he was talking to, he was after me, and he said to ring him back on his mobile later on because he was going to get a sandwich. So that what the guy at work had done was write this down on a note for me, and at the same time draw a picture of a man with a sandwich in his hand, which is now still on my desk. And there was a little speech bubble next to him saying, "I'm going to get a sandwich."
See, that's much more useful.
Yeah.
My work colleagues, I frequently, because I get rung up by all sorts of companies trying to sell us things. We get rung up by really weird people, and I get messages from people who just go, "Yeah, it was Tim." All right, where was he from? I don't know. It sounded a bit like Zibbit. Probably wasn't Zibbit, was it? I'm pretty sure he hosted Pimp My Ride or something.
Tim Westwood and Exhibit paid it. Depending on which side of the continent you're on. Psycho has sent you a picture. Chris said, 2-0, are you serious? That was an hour ago on Twitter. Well, Chris, how times have changed. Assuming Chris is still in the chat. I don't know if he's or not.
I don't know.
Let's find MMX James and see what
Really cool.
Added. MMX James.
That's really good.
I probably can't see this. Let's have a look.
You can. It's just I'm just tagged in it.
Yeah, I don't think that shows on.
Hang on.
You have to retweet it.
I will retweet it. There you go.
Ooh, exciting news. Now I hit the refresh button. That is really cool. Damn. That is a cool ass sketch. I wish I could sketch.
You draw significantly better than either of us paints.
Hello, a smaller yak. No, a small yak. I for some reason, Harry, I thought you'd change the E to an L, and you were like a smelly yak. But no, you're just a reduced size version. I am working on this guy. It is a Knight Armiger Helverin, and I'm just building his weapons.
And it is apparently Armoured Company evening because I'm painting a tank.
It's our very own MMX Big Knight, because we're already building one Knight, and James is building flame tanks. I'm just having a chat. Are you working on a hobby tonight, Harry, or are you just coming on to listen to our lovely tones? Building malign sorcery spells. They are nice, aren't they? Oh, really cool. See, I ordered them. I've not got them out of the bag. As I said earlier, I'm not touching my Age of Sigmar stuff. Not yet. I've got too much stuff to do. I need to eBay some old stuff. Get some. I need to make. That's my thing. I think I'm going to make room for my AOS stuff. Probably get rid of some of the new AOS stuff at the starter set. To be fair, because I only need the rulebook. But not starting a new army. I'm going to stick to my orcs and my demons and my chaos. I've got the cursing thing. eBay a lot of stuff. Make room for it, and I really want to build those spells. Saw them in the store on Saturday, and they're so nice.
Yep, they're awesome.
My worry,
love that purple.
I don't play OS frequently. I've only played it a very, very small amount. My worry is that they've brought them out with the new book, which is like that's like a big deal. But then the 2 battle terms come out next week for Stormcast and
Nighthorns, yeah.
And they've both got their own spells as well.
Yeah, it's quite limited though. If you read the rules on it, there's not a lot of. There's only so many casts you get, so shouldn't be too crazy. I think we're going to see it being like 40k, where like my 1,000 Suns can cast 23 powers in one turn or something stupid. You've been invited to Warhammer World, I believe, Matthew.
I should come to Warhammer World and play you. Yeah, I need to do that. I may be purchasing a new car soon, so I could come down and show you that, and we could make a day of it and do that. 18, 17, 17. So they're both 18. They're 17. One of these is 16. Is that a thing? No, that's 17. So I need one of the 18s, which is this one.
It's counting with math.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. There's 2 70s and 2 18s on the kit, and I'm trying to understand which one I'd used. Yeah, I could. I could bring my. I need to get to grips with the 2nd edition. I need to get. What have we got? We got Cali out the way. We got Cali in 2 weeks. So get Cali out the way. Which also, would then. I think the weekend after that we've got to bring and buy All's Angels, which is going to be cool. So I'll have to work out when I can come down and when you're not on shift and. I'll either bring my demons because they're painted, or I'll bring my orcs. I need to buy some more orcs and build them, but I like orcs, so that could be a thing. Ooh, one thing we haven't spoke about all tonight: Deathwatch. Video went up last night. It's coming out in July. That could be exciting, and we'll make a nice little Nice little break, possibly. If we've got a bit of burnout after Cali. We know our GT's later in the year, but...
Deathwatch, do you mean Kill Team?
I do mean Kill Team. I'm being an idiot, because I'm thinking...
I was wondering where you were going.
Yeah, Kill Team.
Yeah, absolutely. I could.
Don't break it, James. But...
I'll play GC Local. My go-to move for when I don't want to break a game.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No, I think the trick to me playing games and not breaking them is I'm just going to pick cool models and not read the rulebook till I've built and painted my models.
Then get frustrated at your army being terrible and you spending hundreds of pounds on it.
It's a Kill Team, dude. I'll spend 20 quid.
Yes. Soul Wars book is on the way. Nagash did nothing wrong. I think Nagash did a lot wrong. I think he's, from my limited understanding of the AOS fluff, I'm pretty sure Nagash is the reason they've not beat Chaos in that universe. Because
the reason we don't have an old world anymore.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons for that. Nah. See, you said nah, Harry, but I'm pretty sure you're a deaf player. I'm pretty sure Nagash, everyone was fighting Chaos, and then Nagash was like, nah, bro, I'm cool. Sigmar's the one that buggered off. Really? It's all Sigmar's fault. Is it? Is it?
Yeah, I can believe that. He does seem like a swine.
Nah, Sigmar's a beast. Don't know why I'm agreeing. I play Destruction, so... Don't care as long as I fight stuff. He gave Gash his own realm and then beat him up for it. Beat him up in it. Yeah, well. That's how yards work, isn't it? Get out of my yard.
Beating people up in their own yards. I think I
started stealing souls from Nagash when Nagash was making his last stand. All those dead could have powered up Nagash. See, this is my issue. I hope this is in the new rulebook because I really wanted to get into AOS. Like, I was a big fantasy player and I was really burnt by the way they changed over. But then all the rules, not all the rules, sorry, the rules were obviously free, but there wasn't a lot at the start. It was like, oh, these are Stormcast and these are Chaos, these are Khorne. But then nothing. Everything was behind 40 quid books. They brought out like fluff books with like scenarios in them, I think, but they were really expensive, and I wasn't ready to sink money into something that I knew nothing about and wasn't connected to. And this is someone who, if I move, has all 5 hardback, including Nagash, which sold out stupid quickly, Glotkin, which sold out the weekend it came out, and then I got the rest as well. I bought all 5 of these on release because I love, that's 200 odd quid's worth of books there. I think it was 40 quid a book. It might have been more. That's how much I loved fantasy at the time, and it wasn't there. The fluff wasn't there for me to get into Sigmar when it first came out, and that's an issue.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think a lot of it's story driven. As much as we joke about me not knowing anything about fluff, I just don't like Space Marine fluff. Horus Heresy. I do actually. I was quite invested in the fantasy fluff. I was a big fan.
Tempted by Iron Jaws or Flying Dwarfs. Do Flying Dwarfs, Dave. Or do Iron Jaws. I like them both. I really like the Flying Dwarfs. I've had to use common sense a lot to stop me just picking some up. I've got Iron Jaws. I've got Iron Jaws over there now, and I fucking love them. I love orcs. I don't get a chance to play them.
I keep wanting to do Flying Dwarves, but I don't want to actually do Flying Dwarves. I just want flying ships in every other army I've ever collected.
The books are great, but I didn't want to download illegal ones, and I didn't want to shell out that much money. For me, and this is probably tantamount to an issue GW had. The demise of 8th edition and the way they swapped it up to Age of Sigmar made me and at least one of the probably at least 2 or 3 of the other people that we played fantasy week in week out and went to tournaments, we all swapped to X-Wing. We all had that chance then to swap to X-Wing and get in and play that and spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on X-Wing stuff. I've got every X-Wing ship that came out. I don't play it anymore, but Colonists that have actually have personalities and motivations. Yeah, Yeah, I get some things being expanded like that. A Nergal Bretonnian Knight Order that believes in honor jewels. I really like some of the stuff. Like I've read some of the Iron Jaws stuff now, in their book and things like that, and it's cool, but it wasn't there when it came out, and that was the issue for me. I think.
Yeah,
if they brought it out with the General's Handbook, I'd have been in it like a shot.
I think 2.0 is going to see a lot of the old fantasy players give it a shot. Because certainly it's piqued the interest of a lot of people. I know that like in terms of rules, it's not actually that dissimilar to 1.0, is it really?
No.
In terms of core rules, but
it's just a good getting on point again. I think.
Yeah.
And
I think we will see a lot of people get onto it. I mean, insofar as like we've been having the conversation in our various 40k chats about people looking at AOS, seeing what they fancy. And, it's a legitimate conversation where previously people would sort of scorn it.
Yeah. In this last year, it's gone from not being seen at our club at all. And we have a big club. We've probably got one of the biggest non-shop affiliated clubs in the UK. Like, we rent our own venue full time. We open 2 nights a week and whatever. We didn't have any AOS played at all until probably this year or the end of last year. And then... and then we've started seeing a lot of AOS this year, so that's really good. Strange thing, Xeno Evil in the chat says we want Mark back. James, a hashtag is something that when you put it in front of something, then it trends, and Twitter and Twitch and things can gather up the data on how many people have done that. It forms trends, and you can click on them and find everyone who's hashtagged that item. Just to explain hashtag to you, James.
Well, thank you.
I'm assuming Xeno Evil is Mark. Hi Mark, hope you're enjoying your holiday and you're back soon in one piece. In fact, are you playing him on Thursday? So he's back in a few days.
I believe I think we're doing jet lag tournament practice because he's literally going to get off a plane, collect his army and come fight me.
Oh wow, he's really in for a brutal time.
Nah. Mark Ward's Crimson Horde. Fear Mark Ward's Crimson Horde. I mean, I don't, but someone should.
Yeah, someone will. Bottom place.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet Mark can't take home the wooden spoon at Cali.
Do you think he's going to win a game?
I think he will win a game, yeah. I know that he struggled to lose that last game. I think in Summer Skirmish, by the time it got to the last round, he was pretty much in it for the wooden spoon and was a little gutted he didn't get it.
I don't think I'm going to do too well at Cali. But...
Realistic prediction? Where would you realistically think you could come?
I've not played properly since London, and I think going 3-2 would be really, really good. I think 2-3 is possibly realistic based on my lack of practice. Haven't played the missions, haven't done anything.
Well, I mean, same as London.
What will probably happen is that it'll be like London, and I'll be really annoyed that I get 3-2 and don't get 4-1 or something like that. But I doubt it. I doubt it. There's a lot of big names there. There's a lot of really good players there. I think 2-3 is realistic, and 3-2 I should be happy with. And I'm saying that now, and like I say, it always happens. I say a number, I get to that number, and then I'm not happy because I had like a close game or something. But
yeah,
I think for what it is, I think 2-3 is probably a realistic estimate of what I should expect.
So that'll put you somewhere probably between the 40s and 60s of the 100-man field.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable estimate. I'm not feeling super confident.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to come top 10, but I think that's probably pushing it. I think ideally I'd like to go 4-1 or 5-0, but I don't think I'll 20-0 enough people to get into the high rankings, which is why we've been over the whole HC score system before. Reese and Frankie covered it in depth on Frontline Gaming as well. I disagree with battle points over win-loss. Yeah, it affects the whole style of the tournament and the way people play.
It's good. The good thing is, or at least from that point, and a nice bit of variation is after that, after Cali, we have an ITC GT in October. We've got Heat 3 in December.
Yeah, there's potentially another ITC GT in September as well.
Yep.
Just a little something that's in the works that might pop up sooner or later.
So the good thing is we'll have some nice variation in missions and feedback, and it'd be nice to.
Yeah.
I haven't played an ITC game in forever, it feels like.
No, me either. I'm missing it. Okay. We are slowly winning the ITC battle. We've Cali have adopted the ITC ruins rules.
It's always nice for the ruins they've got.
Yeah, just because it gives them it gives people who aren't playing gun lines a chance, and the Alpha Strike gun line is so strong in the ETC format. Any format that gives you a max points win for tabling, you're gonna see an Alpha Strike build.
It just makes sense. It just gives you something to shoot someone off and not engage in the game.
Yeah. This is one of the issues I have with battle points and stuff. Is you develop a rock paper scissors meta.
And what I mean about not for the people watching not participating in the game is you can do that and win by shooting someone off. You don't have to worry about objectives. You don't need to go about board control. Yeah, you have to do the thing of screening yourself and stuff. But if you go crazy Alpha Strike, screen yourself off, go first, wipe out half their army or anything that's going to do good, and just mop them up for 5 turns. It's not. That's not a game. That's Vietnam. You know what I mean? Like,
it's no fun for the people involved.
Yeah.
One guy's just throwing dice and winning, and the other guy's just getting tabled. It's just not interesting.
We do have an event at Stronghold in August too, Dave. And I couldn't remember what missions you were doing. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, ITC.
Ah, good, excellent. I just couldn't remember, so I didn't want to be. I didn't want to say it was ITC. I was going to try and look it up, but I got distracted building knights.
No, that event is being run by Cyphers Blackadder in the chat, and is a soupless event. We are playing Hollander, I believe it's been dubbed.
Yep, there can only be one faction.
Yes, you must. Every faction keyword in your army has to be the same. You can't even mix and match doctrines or chapter tactics or anything. Everything has to just be one book. Which is interesting.
It will be very interesting when the Orc book is out by then.
Yeah. I'm considering playing Pure Thousand Suns.
Ooh. I'm considering playing What's Painted.
Classic. You could play Pure Knights with no CP farm. That'd go well.
I think it probably would. They've got that CP boost now from their detachments. It's not that bad.
Only if you go triple Questoris.
I thought you just need one big knight.
You only get 3 for that, so you'd have 6 CP for 1 big knight and 2 Armigers, and you get you get +3, but obviously with your base 3, you'd have 6. Yeah. You get +6 for triple Questoris class.
You could run 2 detachments and have 9 command points. That would work.
It's not bad, but it's quite an expensive way of only having.
Don't the Admech Knights get Adeptus Mechanicus in their keyword?
No, they get Questoris Mechanicus.
Oh. I knew they couldn't use stratagem stuff, but I didn't know if they.
Yeah, no, certain.
Attachment of Scutari or something.
No.
Ooh, what about hoplites?
No, they're actually missing Admech keywords as well. You don't even get Forge Roll with them. So I do think there's an Admech build out there that goes with Knights. I mean, obviously there's the obvious one, which we know about, which we won't comment too much on, because one of our club mates is going to take it to Cali. So we'll leave that as a nasty surprise for some people. But I think there's one as well using the new turbine drills that have got the overalls.
Yeah.
If you go with Sidges, you can ambush those drills, which means that anything that you can put inside those drills gets to ambush for free. And if you lose that roll first turn, you've got a 10 wound, toughness 8, 3+ armor save model that's just sat there. And you just say to your opponent, deal with me.
Deal with me, bro.
As opposed to the usual AdMech trick, which is you put down the Dragoons or the Electric Priests or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you don't get first turn, you can try and deploy them more conservatively, but they're probably going to get shot off the board.
Next one I'm thinking of doing Supergeddon, unlimited patrol detachments. Think each one is worth 1 CP. That would be interesting.
Bizarre.
I feel like Drakari would be really good in that.
I feel like I'm probably just going to take Brigade and ignore that.
I'm assuming you can only take patrol detachments, and that's the argument.
Alright, yeah, then, yeah. It would vastly favour certain armies. And obviously knights and stuff would need special rules.
Yeah. Each knight goes in a patrol detachment and costs 1 CP. Maybe it would be like soft lads and one of my entire factions would just not be allowed to play.
You know why that happened.
I don't know why that happened. That's true.
Nobody thinks custodes are soft. Not bikes, anyway.
I wasn't taking bikes.
They don't own any other custodes.
I do. They're here. In front of me. Painted.
Didn't you borrow those from someone?
No.
Yeah.
Gonna find the rest. Here we go. Oh, there's more. Units.
I didn't outright ban them anyway. I didn't outright ban them anyway. I told you that you couldn't run the custode bike list you initially
Painted
entered.
custodes. Actual painted models.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, you weren't banned from custodes anyway. You were banned from the bike custode list that you put in.
I didn't put a bike custode list in. That's a lie. I put a normal custode list in with normal guys. I think there was even a contemptor. It got deleted, so I can't prove myself right.
Don't believe him, folks.
If Mark was here, we have to wait till Mark's back next week because he would agree with me. Mark.
He was. I agree.
That's a fact, Dave. That is a fact. Let the records state that James was blocking me running custodes so he could win with GC the Cult.
Yep. Sounds like me. Oh, God, I've nearly done all the tracks now. I know I want to stab myself in the eye with my own paintbrush.
Oh. I've nearly built a Helverin, which is good because I think it's going to coincide with this stream is going to take exactly long enough that I build 1 Helverin.
Yeah. I'm probably calling painting done after I've done these tracks.
Well, I think the plan was to stream to about 10 and then go from there.
Yeah,
A bit
I'll
of
be
boring
about
stream
that.
tonight. Sorry, guys. Just doing a bit of hobby and
Just doing some bits and bobs, chatting to people.
need to get a bit of a show, some show planning done. But
Well, that's what it says on the tin tonight. Bit of hobby hangout.
yeah, I mean it's a good thing to nice and gives a chance everyone to do stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, last Monday we said we were going to do hobby hangout. Then chat got quite lively with 40k tactics talk and armies talk and stuff. And I basically just spoke for...
Yeah, it's like basically putting what we just said.
Yeah. Yeah, last week's chat, we came off and I said to Matt, I feel like I've just talked for about an hour and a half about 40k tactics. Yeah. Which is fine, but...
It's good, Psycho. It's just, I feel like, because we didn't get a chance to do another video last week and Mark's been off and we've been quite busy with stuff, it's like, oh, this is a hobby hangout and chill stream. But it felt like to me, it felt like we haven't done anything else, so it's like, it's no different, like a hobby hangout and chill stream any different, but it's nice to just have a hangout and chill stream.
Yeah.
It gets us some hours on the account, it gets us some chat with you guys, which is always nice, and actually, more importantly, it gets me a night bill. I'm off, ski boys, catch you later. Yeah, thanks Dave, I think we're off ourselves in about 15 minutes or so.
Just nice quiet one this time.
Yeah, it's not as hot as it was last time, which is...
Yeah, God. Cooking last time, it was ridiculous. Really unpleasant.
Suggest your favourite painting lamps. Chris, I use these, right? These are amazing. Get from Amazon, £8 or like £12 or something. Look, MMX. Oh, it's got MMX sprayed in the back because I got crazy with my airbrush. And cordless, USB rechargeable. Boom. I use them, paint around the house, do whatever I want. I use 2. Not daylight, but I'm not painting to a standard where it means that thing. So, but no, they're really good.
My lamp is a lamp that I had to do homework with when I was 15. That I put a daylight bulb in. It's been here ever since. It is not custom made in any way. It is not designed for painting, and it's just a bendy desk lamp, really. Does the job. Once I've done with this track, I will spin my camera around and show you my exciting paint station, which I've also had since I was about 15.
I won't, because my office is an absolute state, and I'm not painting. I'm just building in front of my desk, so...
Yeah. So I should balance down this side. I'll show you what we've been working on today. I will turn the lamp off first so you don't just get glared out. Boys and girls, let's move this around a bit. See if I can persuade this camera to spin. So here is my...
Ooh, tanks.
Yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's the old GW MDF thingamajig with the light bulb.
Did GW do an MDF one?
They did, like 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
See all my toys, all my bits and bobs. You can even look around the room at all of the carnage in my sorted room. Bunch of models, a couple of swords. Thousand Suns get the display cabinet. And then we'll spin back around and point to normal. My network connection did not like that. 1 second, I can plug myself back in now.
The nice thing is the internet's been steady tonight. I'm just for your paint collection. I've only got a few pots right now. I had to start all over. Ouch. Have you any progress on the Gene Stealer Cult Night? Chris asks you, James, and Psycho says he's jealous of your paint collection.
The paint collection is literally, that's the collection. That's just tons of stuff that is just accrued, sort of 3 or 4 pots at a time. I started with a starter kit that had like 10 pots in there. No, the Gene Stealer Cult Night, Chris, got put to one side because I realised that I wanted 3 Hellhounds. Yeah, it's just nuts, man.
That's
You're a
paint.
loser.
You know what the interesting thing about that is? That's the paint I haven't taken out to do stuff. Paint. And
Yeah, the Gene Steel
boxes down there, paint rack over there. I don't even use it. Ooh.
No. Gene Steel Colt Omega so far. He's going to be driving it. We've got body stands up here. Fires the gun. This all is magnetized. Cameras. That way. This is all magnetized. Swivels. And what's with what the switch the other one?
Let's magnetize mine. Mount. There we go. Omega. Firepower.
Yeah, that's what that will be. Is an Omega shortly. We're working on it. But I needed these 3 Hellhounds because they may or may not be in my Cali list. We maybe should do a stream at some point after list submission where we have a bit of a chat about Cali lists so we can tell everyone what's in ours. And I believe they're going to do a list document like London did, so they'll be up, so we'll be able to.
Yeah, they did. They said they're going to do that with the lists and do them open again. I built something wrong here. Have I built something wrong? I've built one down and one. That's down and that's.
So that might be an idea, actually, if people would be interested in that sort of thing. Go through the Cali lists, have a few comments on some of the ones that might be considered better, chat about the ones that our team are taking, that me, Mark, and Matt can take you through ours, maybe comment on the other Hulls Angels going down.
Yeah, definitely. Go through, even if we just go through our lists, go through all the Hulls Angels guys' lists, that's nice.
Yeah, maybe pick out 1 or 2 of the so-called bigger names.
Yeah, you can do the stream on that. You and Mark can do a competitive stream.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just have to be picking out which list you're going to be taking to the GT after that now.
Yeah. Sounds about right. I'm not sure I can build Tau by LGT. Probably can.
You definitely can.
Enough time.
Get Gary to paint it for you. Doing a lovely job on mine.
Oh, they're coming along.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Oh, excellent. I think I've put these. Have I?
You can use my tab on me, to be fair. I'll probably inevitably default back to Tyranids.
Not put them on the wrong way, that's good. I didn't mess things up. Did I put that on the wrong way? I did not. I've built a model successfully. Yay!
Yeah, it's like... It's not... It'll be interesting to watch and sort of just see what's good and what's not. You sort of get a taste for what will be strong in the lists and what won't, so what people's ideas generally are. You always want to be alarmed by the lists that you can't look at and work out what they're trying to do. Because either you're missing something important or they're terrible. And if the good players are playing them, they're probably not terrible.
One second, I just need to thingy. Oh, I need to get something.
Matt has left me alone with the stream. I could bring down the whole business empire in seconds. But I'll just finish this tank instead. Yeah, well, we can do that. Have a chat about it. Welcome back, Matt. What did you go off to find?
Going to find some cork to try and do a base for this night quickly.
Yeah, lovely.
Let's do that, and then that would work for that. That would work wonders, and I've got some super good.
Mark's still carrying the stream anyway. Yeah, down there.
What did you say? You were doing something while I was gone?
I just commented I could bring down the whole business empire while you were away.
No. Get Mark to paint it. He's had a long enough holiday. Mark has had a long enough holiday. Maybe we should pay him to paint something.
I don't believe in paying Mark to do things. I believe in bullying.
Maybe we should bully Mark into doing something. That's a much better idea.
See?
Press the red button. There is no red button. It's actually really awkward to turn off the stream when we do it because it delays out on like a 4-second delay. So you turn it off and there's kind of like do 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 do. But I do now have the sense to cut into an intermission before I do that, so we can cut out early.
Yeah. It's a little bit weird because we have. It's 4 seconds the delay.
Yeah. Well, I think the delay is longer. I think it kicks in longer, but the
Yeah.
Yeah,
official
so when you turn it off, there's a 4-second delay.
So we quite often ask you guys questions and then sit here like lemons for 10 seconds because there's obviously lag between us asking you and then the chat showing us your response.
I'm going to use this MDF sealant because I think that is going to go over this cork and seal it. And this MDF sealant is effectively just watered down PVA anyway.
Just PVA.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This was, I'll say this. This was, I think was it this or was it the PVA? No, I bought the MDF sealant, but when we bought £500 worth of boards from TT Combat, who do great scenery, but when we bought £500 worth of boards, their discount was this MDF adhesive.
Nice.
That was the discount they gave us for that. I do love their terrain. I do love them as a company. I like Rumble Slam, but
yeah. I mean, to be fair, we say we bought £500 worth of boards. We bought £1,000 worth of boards for £500.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it was an open offer though.
Yeah.
If you spent £100, you were getting that value, not for chopping 5 different boards.
Yeah. It's okay for me because I spent the GT's money, not mine.
No foam. Yeah, this is just watered down PVA.
Yeah.
Apparently it dries in an hour, so I'll be able to base later on.
We need to paint a little bit of a gun, and then I think we're at washer stage for these tanks. We will not be doing washer stage tonight. But no. Yeah, if they get a list document up, we'll maybe look at doing a stream on possibly Friday, maybe over the weekend.
Yeah. Mark will be back. Carry the stream.
Mark can come back. We can ask him about his holiday tales.
My net is bad, don't judge my delay. Also let me know when you're ending, I'll tweet another update. Oh, thank you, yeah. We are going to be ending in about 5 minutes, about 10 o'clock. So if you want to tweet us the picture before that, we can be really impressed and slightly dismayed that you're a lot better sketcher than us. 1 second, I don't have anything to put any water in to wash this brush off, so I'm just going to have to rinse it under the sink. 1 second. Bad hobby planning there. James, don't shut down the stream.
I literally couldn't if I tried. Classic comedy of our stream is that I work in IT and have no idea how any of this works. It's nothing to do with what I actually do in my job.
Oh. We seem to still be streaming, and we seem to still have viewers.
Yeah, mostly.
That's a good thing. So there, yeah.
Good.
I have a knight, and I have a base for a knight. So, oops. Still have him. Still in one piece.
You may have just trashed the knight. Yeah. I have half a knight.
Gotta stop doing this. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's hold him. There we go. I have a knight and a base done for a knight in this.
That's standing work, Matthew.
That's alright. Gotta wait for that base to wait for the base to dry, and I'll probably glue him on later or pin him on. I might have to pin him on maybe. I don't know. That's one down.
We need to do some weathering and some washes and some details, but 1 hellhound. 2 hellhound. 3 hellhound. With magnetized options.
Psych, are you in Canada? Oh, I imagine that's you getting a tweet saying
That wasn't, but I think I have.
Oh.
Have I? No, not yet. No, that was another of our viewers who's not on tonight. Psycho is in Canada. Excellent. That narrows it down to what, about 5 million people?
I just saw on his Twitter. He's from Canada. I didn't realise that. There you go.
There you go.
We are international.
We shall retweet that. We've got a lot of followers from all around the world, Matt.
Yeah, we have a large international audience. Very
yeah.
popular. Oh, you've had a colour. That is cool. That is a really cool sketch.
Really good.
Oh, we can commission Psyker to do our cartoon. Oh, see, look how darker I go when I'm looking at Vulcan. Channeling my inner salamander stage by stage. Also, not a big deal, but I am a lady. Sorry. I do apologise.
We apologise.
I will get the terminology right.
Yeah. Technically, Xeno Evil did not miss. No, you did miss Fluff Corner. I got it right. That's why there's a drawing involved.
Fluff Corner, Mark. I asked James to draw a Primarch. No, sorry. Psycho wanted to draw a Primarch and said, who should Psycho draw? I said, James had to suggest one. It couldn't be Horus, Lorgar, Angron, Magnus. There was
Couple
more.
people.
Yeah, I avoided all. I didn't even say Mortarion, so you had an easy out. But James not only suggested Vulcan Mark, he knew he was the Primarch of the Salamanders. So, boom. Fluff Corner dropped. It's all Heresy Fluff Corner. Do you know what? I'm gonna read some more fluff. I went and found my talk a second ago and found the Necron Codex, and I was like, I've not even read that. I'm not even reading the fluff for the. I've not even read the Knight fluff. I started reading the stuff about what do you call it? The guy, the special character Knight. He his Knight basically went. His Knight. I don't know if he was in his Knight when the Iron Warriors captured him, or he was separate from his Knight. But I think he was separate from his Knight, and his Knight broke out and and freed him. And then two of your faves were left out, Lorgar and I think Lorgar's one of your faves because I'm sure you've said it to Mark before.
Yep.
And judging by that, the other one would be not Magnus. Horus is the obvious answer.
I picked Vulcan, and apparently I managed to pick one of them, so we should assume one of his faves is Vulcan.
Peter T. No, I didn't say Petrarab. I didn't say Petrarab and Vulcan were in the list.
There you go. Yeah, I really like that.
Sorry, I thought you meant that I'd not allowed him to pick one of your favourites.
I think that we should get Psycho to do a alternative drawing of cartoon Mark at the bottom. It's a colorized picture of Mark.
I was going to say we can commission Psycho to do our cartoonized versions of us for stream pictures for when we're away and just for the thing.
Just for comedy.
Lorgar and Horus. I knew it was Lorgar and Horus. I knew it was Lorgar because you've said to Mark about it before, and I knew it would be Horus because everyone loves Angron, but not that much because he's Angron. There's not a lot of depth there. There is a little bit of depth, but he's just a ragey motherfucker, isn't he? I just picked Fulgrim. Shane, have you read the Heresy books? Because Fulgrim is a messed up motherfucker.
I can imagine that, having not read them.
He's even more messed up. Oh no! Right, hang on. I think everyone watching who's gonna read them has read them, and if you haven't, thingy. If you didn't know, James, at the end of Fulgrim, after he's killed Ferrus Manus, he gets possessed by the demon in his sword.
Good.
Fulgrim actually gets possessed by a demon until some point later in one of the other books where the Emperor's children capture him to break it out of him and do things like melting his hands off, and then they just regrow. They try and torture a demon out of someone that doesn't work that well.
I can't imagine it would.
No, but it does eventually. But yeah, Fulgrim, when he kills Ferrus Manus, he basically goes, "Oh, what have I done? If only there was a way to not feel bad about this." And the demon's like, "Oh, let me take over, mate!" And then, yeah. Fulgrim and his love of pears. I'm
assuming there's a joke there that I'm completely missing.
Fulgrim Fulgrim the book also has an artist who, if I remember correctly, because it's all fucked up and how astonished they are and stuff. She sleeps with men, kills them, and then sticks them in a big barrel where they like decompose, and she paints pictures with the decomposing liquids, and people come and look at them and like, oh yeah, these are amazing. Yeah. And look at your face. And in like the end of the second act, they have like a musical orchestra where people are like singing and like mutating and like ripping apart from the inside out because demons are being channeled. Fulgrim's exorcism involves a pair of anguish. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Yep. Now I remember. You don't want to Google it.
Gonna Google it.
You only paint with decomposing victims, yeah. Is that how you're going to paint my towel, Mark? Have you searched a pair of anguish, James?
Nice.
Silly James.
To be honest, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not the worst thing I've got.
Isn't the pair of anguish, isn't it the thing that, like, yeah. You put it up and you twist it and it opens up and, yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. R.I.P. James, yeah. Mark, I'm so glad that you've joined us on stream from out there in Corfu.
Yeah.
Oh. You got nightbotted, Psyker. Eat that nightbot. You upset the wrong robot.
I didn't think it was anything in particular, Shane, but just the way that everyone reacted to that made me think it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
You lost the nightbot. Holding Deb's place by fighting Nightbot. Nightbot's been an active bot tonight. Deb would have been happy, I think. There's me doing my responsible thing. Oh, see, we're already gone past stream time as well. This is me packing away my box of single Helverin now. In fact, there we go. I'm going to cross out this.
Helverin.
There you go. Always have a Sharpie around. Accurate box now. Helverin. Nice. Thinking of using these, maybe, when I got some airbrush templates that I've never used before. Maybe trying to learn how to use them. I know the sticker ones are better, but Mark's trying to convince the Greek women that are a big deal. I mean, you could show them this video with you in there at the bottom, Mark, and you could say, look, that's me on our 7 viewer feed. Show them our Instagram.
Yeah.
6,000 followers. There's nothing to look down on us about.
Yarp.
Right.
I think we're about done.
I think we're about done. I finished my Helverin. I think for tonight that's it. We'll try and get a better thing penned in for the rest of the week. I am going to try a new car tomorrow night, I think. So that's kind of exciting.
Lovely.
For possibly Friday or the weekend, we might try and do something. Mark will be back, and maybe Cali lists will be out, and we can talk about some competitive 40k. If we do, we'll try and do. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
Send us a message over, and we'll talk about doing something.
Yeah, I'm sure we can talk about some kind of arrangement. Be cool. No, that'd be really cool.
That picture of Matt being chased by me.
a picture of you with a calculator math hammering something. Mark dressed as Lorgar reading a book. And me completely fighting the Adeptus Mechanicus that is trying to run this Twitch stream and having microphones that don't always work when I want them to, and multiple cameras that fail or do echo. In fact, I'm really happy tonight that we've had no.
Pretty well.
You're the voice of God apparently, but I think it's just.
I mean, I think that's just how.
Yeah, maybe. I know. I think it's the It's just your mic. I've turned it down a little bit, so it shouldn't echo as much. But no, pretty cool. Pretty happy. Yeah. I think if we do a competitive stream, if we do it just as that and label it as that, so everyone's aware, or cut into different segments on it and do it that way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if people aren't into competitive stuff, like the guys on,
it's going to be quite a lot to.
Yeah, our viewers
wouldn't necessarily be the most exciting thing.
No, James has been too loud. We can still hear him. I love you, Shane.
Fuck you, Shane.
I love you. Yeah, competitive. If people are into competitive, it'll be a lot of saying words and numbers which won't mean anything to them. But that's not an issue because it's nice to have diverse content. So, and there's people who will like that. So, I think key's going to be finding a way to discuss lists that aren't discuss lists in a way that isn't boring.
Yeah, not just we don't just want to sit here and throw numbers at you as to why this is the most efficient way that someone's doing something.
If we do it, I'll try and get the best. I'll try. I'll make sure we don't do it until we've got the list, so we can put the list up on stream as we talk about it, and I'll do a new layout so we can do that, and then.
Well, we can also do.
Because then we don't have to go through the list. We can just put the list up, and then maybe discuss.
Sort of say here's what it does.
Yeah, discuss a few units and just do like really briefly on things. So that'll be
what the general idea will be. We can maybe do if we don't have a list document, we can maybe just go through our lists on the Friday or something and have a little chat about some of the standout ones once I've had a bit of time to go through it and stuff.
Exactly, Mark. You'll build it on the fluff, which is why you're the youth of Lorgar, the Lorgar youth.
Yeah.
Heresy youth. Right. I think we are definitely done.
Yeah.
It's so.
Good night, boys. Well, I think we're done.
Good night, people. And I can do the whole non-awkward cut out now. So.